This time, she said she did not want to name Diddy. She said she was afraid that she wouldn't be believed and that later on, the rapper would harm her.
People around Diddy and what everybody knows.
What happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
Diddy. DEVI.
It now appears to be confirmed that Diddy attempted to arrange a hit on Gene Deal and Jaguar Wright for exposing his crimes, and this is genuinely bone-chilling to hear directly from the source itself.
Happens with exposures. You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Cam, let me tell you something, man. If I worried about what somebody would do for me, I wouldn't be the man that I am. I keep my head on the swivel. I do what I have to do to protect myself and my family. All I know is that I know one thing for certain, two things for sure. I got people out here that love me. You understand? And if something happened to me, I know people's gonna make sure you meet me wherever we gotta go after this life.
And this follows the earlier claim that Gene Deal had already stated that Diddy tried to contact him and silence him before.
I don't usually be coming back to New York. And somebody was telling me that, yo, listen here, yo, he trying to get witnesses. Remember when they released that first thing of Cassie? And I said that Diddy was trying to contact people for character witnesses, people for who he had problems with before, whatever like that, and trying to talk to them in the whole 9 yards. That's when they dropped that thing with Cassie. The Homeland Security had some agency or whatever like that that deals with that, dropped that thing on Cassie to show everybody, oh, y'all want to help him? Y'all, this is what y'all want to help? This is who y'all want to, you know, say that he ain't never did nothing. This is what you want to put your brand on? And everybody started backing up from him. Everybody was talking about, yo, man, Cassie was a gold digger. Cassie was this, that, and the third. She loved it in the whole 9 yards. And then when they seen that, all his friends or so-called friends, went away. So him not having a bond is not surprising.
Yeah, and he offered them $50 million, and they still denied his bond.
He should have waited to see what they was gonna offer. Because if he got $50 million to get him and offer that, then they think like, yo, that's too little of a money.
And you right about Diddy phone being chopped, because news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me. Enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that. Enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about that. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burroughs. And Kirk Burroughs, and I ain't gonna give this guy no play. Not Kirk Burroughs, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he wanna reach out to you, Gene. He wanna speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burroughs did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough? Yo, because, bro, listen, I didn't ask to be put in this situation. You understand? And a lot of people ain't gonna understand this. Because a lot of people wouldn't give up what I've given up to be in this situation. You understand? My whole thing about it is, when you lean on right, you ain't gonna never turn to wrong.
And the most frightening part is that arranging hits on people is described as the least of Diddy's alleged capabilities, as Gene and Jaguar clearly have reason to be concerned, because Diddy has long been linked to claims involving the deaths of others. A recent Rolling Stone expose reported that the notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was allegedly preparing to leave Bad Boy Records shortly before his death. Several sources interviewed for the article supported this account, stating that Biggie was engaged in a legal fight to regain his publishing rights. According to The Big Payback, Diddy was determined to keep control of those rights and publicly stated that he would never give them up until death. Hip-hop photographer Monique Bunn shared that Biggie had personally told her he was planning to leave, and another source added that many artists wanted to leave Diddy. Gene Deal further claims that Diddy was aware of this and alleges that Biggie was dealt with.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all want the shit? I'm gonna put him out the pasture. Catch him if you can. If you got that wolf in you, catch him if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album, when you know not his nemesis, but your nemesis was just murdered by that you was running with? Why would you do that? Oh, they just wanted to do business. Business mind, man. No homo. Because you know how some of these niggas out here be thinking, right? They hear that. Keep it real, man. Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's house. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded ass like Lil C. Big love Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga to go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother.
Biggie was fatally shot and killed in March 1997.
Oh, all you guys go to the vibe party.
It was 23 of us.
23 people go to the vibe party. And then at one point, the fire department starts to shut it down.
Now it's only 12 of us. Because them motherfuckers that left, they must have felt something. You know, what's his name? Chuck Bone. That was Puff's friend. Yeah, he that was with us, Chuck Bone. They must have felt something and they left and went to Steve Stout's house in the hills. Because Steve Stout was giving a party that day too.
Okay, so half the entourage leaves. Half is still there. You go and grab all the SUVs and have them pull out in front so when Big and Puff and all them come out, they can just jump in their cars.
And we can leave.
Okay. So tell me about the scene outside as you're waiting for everyone to get in their cars and start to take off.
So first we lined up parallel to the door in which they have to come out, right? You follow me?
Yep.
All right, we lined up parallel to where the doors they have to come out. So if they come out right here, the car's right there. They're right there. So then Big is taking his time because you know his fibular bones and his thighs are broken or whatever like that. You know, they fractured or whatever. So it's taking them a long time to come out. So they get out, Big gets in the car, everybody get loaded up. I said, come on, let's go. We ready to go. Puff is running back and forth like, yo, he'll see a girl, he'll go grab a girl. He said, yo, Gene, remember her, she coming to the party tomorrow. I'm like, you remember her? What the fuck is you talking about, bro? I never seen him act like this ever, because he don't act like that. When I said to Paul said we was ready to go, I said, all right, follow us. I tried to ride on the side of the car. Puff said, yo, Gene, what you doing? I said, I'm riding on the side of the car. I have my gun out. I'm on the side of the car. At the time, I'm 265. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the street 30. You know what I mean? So I was a little slimmer back then. So he says to me, Gene, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I said, man, how the f you gonna try to tell me how to do my job? He said, Gene, we don't need that look. We don't need that look. Get in the car. As I go to get in the car, this motherfucker reached down and let his seat all the way back. So now I gotta put my legs sideways. I'm like, yo, what the f is you doing? And so then Kenny said, you ready? He said, you ready? I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Run the next 3 lights, Kenny. Kenny said, for what? I said, motherfucker, run the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm gonna drive. Run the next 3 lights. Kenny just took off. When he took off, we got past the light because it was a flashing red light. We got past the light and we got across the street. Tone, who was behind me, said, yo, somebody in the car pointing a gun at Big them.
And Diddy allegedly moved quickly amid the emotional fallout, as Arista and Bad Boy former publicity director LeJay Brookshire, who had been with Biggie the day before his death, asked for time to grieve, but instead Diddy instructed her to make sure that Biggie's posthumous album Life After Death debuted at #1. Gene Deal also claimed that false stories continue to circulate about who is truly responsible for Biggie's killing.
I gotta ask you about this. Before the interview, you was telling me about this. Captain Shaheed Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. You was telling me that a platform is trying to blame him for the murder of Biggie. Like, what's the deal with that?
Because Brother Shaheed is dead. That's why they're trying to push the narrative now. When Brother Shaheed was alive, they wouldn't dare to say anything to that nature. I met Brother Shaheed at the Million Man March in 1995 or 90, that was 95, right? 1995, I met Brother Shaheed at the Million Man March. October the 16th. My birthday. Right. I seen him at Farrakhan. We was at Farrakhan's, the house they had for Farrakhan. We all got our badges because we all walked backstage together. Not backstage, but back at the Capitol where the minister spoke to the masses. I met Brother Shaheed then, seen him a couple of times before. You understand? I know Brother Shaheed when I seen him. Brother Shaheed was not the Muslim who walked up to me. All of a sudden, not everybody trying to put the pictures together and say all this old dumb shit. It didn't happen like that. Was not Brother Shaheed who came up to me. I wouldn't have showed Brother Shaheed my gun because I knew I would have been safe around him. I've been around him with Brother Mustafa, Farrakhan's son. So now that he's dead, everybody trying to post the pictures side by side to the guy that we identified and everything like that. Get out of here, man. Brother Shaheed was every bit about 6'4.5", 6'5". I would have known who he was when he walked down the street and walked away. Get out of here, man. That's just these content creators, people trying to make up shit, and people trying to spill the narrative from them crooked cops not doing the right thing to Big and on Big's case.
So who's the ones pushing that narrative?
I don't even want to get them to spin on your show, bro. You understand? I don't want to get them to spin on your show, but the people out there know that they some felonious content creators that's trying to put Gene Deal name in everything because you make this shit hotter than fish grease.
So you don't think it was him? You think it was Amir Muhammad?
I know it wasn't him. Ain't no think. I know it wasn't him. He wasn't the one with the blue suit, white shirt, and blue bow tie with the peanut head. It wasn't him.
Do you think it will ever come out that Amir Muhammad did it? Because, I mean, you've been saying that for a while. And the dude out here living his life, he do real estate now. And, I mean, that's crazy if he killed Biggie and he out here, doing real estate.
My man, it's some people that's working on Big's case. It's some people that are trying to come up with enough evidence to get those files reopened, get those cases that were sealed, unsealed. And when that happens, we're gonna be quite all right, brother.
The controversy did not stop there, as a few months later Rolling Stone approached Bad Boy for a cover story and Kirk Burroughs, the label's co-founder and president, suggested featuring Biggie. But Diddy rejected the idea and pushed for his own debut album No Way Out, which was set for release in July, insisting that he should be on the Rolling Stone cover instead. Burroughs later recalled that this decision led to Diddy appearing on the magazine's August 1997 cover, a move that drew criticism even from Death Row Records, including Suge Knight, who commented that when Tupac died, he focused on handling the aftermath rather than promoting himself. Despite this, many accounts suggest that the relationship between Diddy and Biggie was tense for much of their time together.
He was happy on Bad Boy? Do you think he was planning on leaving?
I feel that he was happy about his career. He was happy about the blow up. He was always on the line. He never let us feel comfortable like, oh, y'all did me right. Oh, I'm loving you guys right now. He would never give it up like that. He would always have us under pressure to keep doing it bigger and better. I honestly, when I look back on it, if he trusted Sean more, it would have been better. But he didn't trust him as much as the way Sean says they were best friends after he was dead. No, I didn't see that during the time we were working with him. I see that as an emotional cry out after he's gone. I saw him as wanting his music and everything to be right, have the number ones, and we delivered that. I think there might have been a little bit of a hole or a gap when it came time to people being friends. I think Sean wanted friendship too. He might have wanted the best friend thing. Biggie came with his friends and came with everything and was about to open up to the world with all kinds of new friends and new people. This tragic incident happened, and now he did belong to the world, but not even to us anymore. It was like he was gone, we had the music, and now we were left with his legacy. He was happy about blowing up. I can tell you he was happy about his success. He was happy about the stature that he had. I don't know if he was very happy about staying with us forever.
And now even the mother of Biggie is calling for Diddy to be exposed.
Gene, here go Miss Wallace.
Hey, Miss Wallace, Gene Deal.
Oh, hi, Gene. How are you?
All right, man. You know I ain't seen you since I came to your house and had that conversation with you. How you been? You all right?
I've been okay. I've been watching you on Facebook.
I'm sorry, Miss Wallace. I'm sorry I had to do what I had to do, but you know, it is what it is.
I know you do.
Thank you, Miss Wallace. Like I told people, I said if Miss Wallace would have called me and told me to shut it down, I would have shut it down. Miss Wallace ain't called. She knew how to get in touch with me. If Miss Wallace didn't tell me to shut it down, I'm going to keep doing it because I respect you, Miss Wallace.
Do what you do.
Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you.
What you do.
What was the backstory behind that? Big Mom calling.
My man, that had to be, if I say exhilarating, it has to be one of the highlights of coming out here and doing what I've done over the last, since 97. Since 97. Since I seen Miss Wallace. You know what I'm saying? To hold Miss Wallace's hand and explain to what happened to her son that night. It was one of the, I guess, most emotional times I've ever had in my life. Because here I am explaining how your son died. When he was calling Miss Wallace, I was screaming, yo, tell her I want to talk to her, I want to talk to her. But they had me on mute. But him being an outright brother and straight, he said, yo, Miss Wallace, I got Gene on the phone. And she said, Gene Deal? And he said, yeah, Gene Deal. He want to speak to her. She said, I watch his stuff on Facebook and YouTube all the time. And I was like, yo, my man, to hear Miss Wallace, Big Mother say that, brother, it sent a chill down me because it reminded me of Wolf Mother, Miss Mama Joan. She gave me her rights to say what I needed to say on the behalf of her son. She gave me her blessings. She came on my program. So, bruh, to hear Miss Wallace say that, and the first thing I said as a gentleman, I said, hey, Miss Wallace, how you doing? And then I wanted her to know that I respect her to the fullest. And the first thing I said was, Miss Wallace, if you tell me to stop, leave Puff, stop, no, I didn't say leave Puff. If you tell me to stop doing what I'm doing, I will. She said, no, G, I watch you. You keep doing it. You doing a good job. Man, listen here. Yo, I was happier than one of them boys at a Diddy party. I was so happy, man, it was crazy. Because this was the first time I had talked to Miss Wallace since the last time I talked to her and was telling her about Big's death. And she said I didn't want to hear no more.
This information, combined with more than 100 other accusations against Diddy, has pushed many people to re-examine old interviews, and one particular clip has gone viral on TikTok in which Diddy talks about the East Coast-West Coast feud between Tupac Shakur and Biggie. Reflecting on the tension, Diddy recalled a conversation with Biggie after Tupac released his diss track Hit 'Em Up, explaining that he called Biggie and told him they would not respond because someone could get hurt if they did. Diddy said he recognized the danger of escalating the rivalry, as Tupac's record did not only target Biggie, but it also targeted Diddy, Bad Boy Records, and their associates, which further intensified the feud, as Diddy later recalled that Tupac released Hit 'Em Up and described the track as cold, adding that whenever it played at a party, they would shut down the DJ's turntable to stop it. Amid these revelations, rumors are spreading that Tupac's family may be considering a wrongful death lawsuit against Diddy, following claims that Diddy allegedly offered $1 million for Tupac's killing. Dwayne Keith D. Davis, a former gang leader charged in Tupac's murder, has alleged that Diddy made that promise, and Gene Deal believes that Diddy's unusual obsession with Tupac could have led to his involvement in the shooting.
Everybody knew that Puff took Tupac blueprint and changed Biggs and Bad Boy in image. I Get Around talked about how fly you was, how many girls you mess with, how many cars you drive, how much money you got, what you willing to do. He took his image. Pac was the first one on the scene wearing Versace shirts. He went and got the same Versace shirts Pac had. Which, all right, some dudes would do that. You would never catch me wearing something that somebody else got. He was knocking down all the women that he thought Pac was knocking down. And what I mean is having sex with. Why would you want to have sex with women you know for sure a dude that was once cool with you was dealing with? That's that image. Because you got to realize, bruh, Puff and Pac was cool at one time. We know this. Mopreem said that they was going to sign the Bad Boy. So if he was going to sign to Bad Boy, it was because of Corey and them. I put that picture on the internet. I put the picture on my channel of Corey Jones. Is Corey Jones, Corey Jacobs? I think Corey Jacobs and Pac right next to each other. Those are the ones who got the 16 to life sentences. That Pac was going to go and be with them first. But then Mopreem said when it became just Big and Puff, because Corey and them went to jail, he changed his direction. But nobody know why Pac and Puff fell out like they did. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody know why. But Puff had an obsession with him for whatever reason it was, because he started wanting to act. He started wanting to rap. He had an obsession so bad that at his Grammy Award winning speech, he used the same speech that Pac used. That shit is crazy. So when I say I'm obsessed with talking about Puff and telling y'all the truth, who's obsessed with who? Pac had Sarah before Puff. Allegedly, he had Sally before Puff. And Kim had an obsession or liked Pac so much, she on the red carpet with Tupac's shirt on. Who's obsessed with who?
So you believe Diddy, he only got with Sarah Chapman because Pac, he had her at one point.
And it was a bet in the office. Sarah was messing with an NBA basketball player.
Diddy is also facing serious accusations, including claims of rape involving a TV remote, as a lawsuit filed by an unnamed woman alleges that the rapper assaulted her in 2018 and then involved a friend in the attack. The woman claims that this incident occurred after she confronted him during a FaceTime call, accusing him of ordering the death of Tupac Shakur.